KCC105, week number 5 assignment. We're going to put it all together in a graphic. We've got CPI, we've got BLS data, we've got indexes, graphs. Let's put it all together. A graphic is how we're going to do it. This week we're looking at Google Drawings, and we're going to make our graphic, a focus of our graphic, exploratory analysis. Let's see exactly what I mean. So first of all, you have a link to my graphic, and more or less it looks exactly like a design. I'm not sure these ice cream cones kind of jumped over the title, but looking at it right away, look at what's going on. Title, graph, and description, and then questions down below. This graphic is an example of exploratory data analysis. What does that mean? The data is helping me explore new questions. Title, graph and description, and a question or questions to explore. That is your goal for the week 5 assignment, is to package everything you've done. The data you found, the graph you've created, your goal is to package it. So by the end, you're not saying this is the answer. You're saying, well, I wonder why that happened. What's going on? What's going on? Maybe this is causing this, or maybe this is going to continue. I don't know. That is your job. Exploratory data analysis. Now, how do you put together a graphic that looks something like this? So we are going to create one using Google Drawings. How do you get to Google Drawings? That's in your Drive. So if you're at your Kindle email, you're clicking this little tic-tac-toe, there's your Google Drive, and it pops up here, and maybe some of the files you've done, and hey, there's my graphic, here's the files I've downloaded from the BLS website. But up here in New, it's not right away. You got to go to More, and then down here, Google Drawings. Why do I like Google Drawings to create a graphic? Because it's a little more flexible than your Microsoft Word or your typing, that sort of things. For instance, if I want to create a title, you just go to the text box here, and you can make it as big or as little as you want. So right here, this is my title. Well, that's not a big title, so you go up here to the font size, and let's make it big, 72. Oh, I got to highlight the text, and then go up to 72. There we go. If I don't like the title right there, what if I want it just on the left-hand side? I can move it over here. I can reshape this box however I like. I say right side, I put it over here. No problem. In my graphic, I have a little example of these ice cream cones. It's just a small little graphic touch, but hopefully it adds a little something to my graphic. How can you do that? This little picture right here is image. So if I click the image, if you have something, you can upload it, no problem. You can also search. So for instance, I did ice cream. Maybe you're going to say, do the price of bread. So I type in bread here, hit the search button, all these different things. I say, okay, here's a nice picture of bread, select, and it waits a second, but ta-da, then it pops out. So I've got, maybe this is just a way to add a little style to yours. Title, picture. Now, what else was I looking at? I wanted description. Okay, so here's a little description. Description. I pick this data because you get the idea. You're sort of filling in things. Now, the main event is the graph. If you look at my graphic here, you'll see I have a little description, but the graph is obviously the main thing. This is what's letting me see the trends in the data, what's going up, what's going down, all that sort of thing. So how do we get a graph in the data? Well, if you go back to I did it in Google Sheets, if you did in Excel, either way, if you have a graph, you can click up here and say Save Image. I got that image saved. And now I can go back to my drawing, go back to the image right here, and I can say, hey, upload. Well, what am I uploading? I just found that I saved it as chart. So I hit here, say Open, and ta-da, it just pops right back up. So you can take whatever you create in Excel or Google Sheets, you can save it, and then in your Google Drawing, you can upload using this little image button right here. So, and then, of course, I can move it around. I say, I want the image here. No, let's put the bread down here and the title over here. You see it's a lot more flexible than, say, a Microsoft Word, something like that, where things kind of go in columns and rows and that sort of thing. Okay, put the description over here. You get the idea. Title, graph and description, and what was the last part? Exploratory data analysis. You want to end up with some questions to explore. Questions, that's text, so I'm going to go to my text box. Maybe put it down at the bottom, and that makes sense. There's a slight progression. Top title, maybe the middle is your graph and your description, and at the bottom you're going to have your questions here. Questions. I wonder why, ... How come, ... And I'm tying it together. Title, graph and description, and then your questions, your exploratory data analysis. The data is making me ask, why is this happening? You're going to put all of this together in a Google Drawing. If you have another way to create a graphic, I know in week 1 somebody created a pictochart. That's fine. There's other ways to do this, but if you're using Google Drawings, this is a great submission for week number 5's assignment. However, you do want to get it off of Google Sheets, and if you go up to File down here, you can download this, and you have all these options. PDF is the preferred way to download this. So looking at the week 5 assignment, what needs to happen? You need to take your graph, and I talked about earlier how you're comparing different data. You're creating a Google drawing with a title, graph and description, and then some questions, exploratory data analysis at the end, and you are going to download that, and then that downloaded file is your submission for week 5 assignment. If you have questions about the whole process, how it all lays out, feel free to email.